Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I will be unboxing and reviewing, even though it's not a proper unboxing because I've been wearing this watch for the past 2 years or so, but we're gonna talk about specifications and I'm gonna tell you why I call this watch my guilty pleasure watch from my selection, and it's none other than Seiko, and it's their sports model, so Seiko 5, which is obviously their very famous sports model. So let's get into it. Let's start with the presentation first. So you get this Seiko box. This is where I think the price was, and I messed around with it, so it's not in perfect condition anymore. And it's a blue box. Let's call it blue box. And here we go. Here is the watch inside the box. Okay, you got a nice pillow, pretty good pillow actually. And then I got my spare links. You got some instructions and information about the reference number. So let's talk about the reference number. Reference number is SNZH60K1, which is absolutely impossible to remember. Yeah, I don't know what's with Seiko's reference numbers, why they have it like that, but what can you do? And let's go through the watch. So obviously this is Seiko 5, which is their sports watch, and essentially this is a diver. Let's start with dimensions. Case size is 42 millimeter. Thickness, it's a pretty thick watch actually. It's 14 millimeter thick, and lug width is 22 millimeter. You can play with different straps, and maybe even NATO strap works on this watch, but I did get a rubber black strap for it, which is, I don't know, I don't think I was too happy with it because it was kind of too thick, and I never got used to wearing it with this watch, even though it suits it well. But yeah, I always come back to this full gold-plated bracelet. Otherwise, the watch has a steel case and a steel bracelet, and it has classic Seiko 5 clasp. It's a 3-fold for more secure lock, and you can actually see how it works. So basically, this lock and then this lock, and then this is basically how it's locked. If you want to release it, you just do it the reverse way, and then you have buttons to push to unlock it. Other than that, the back of the case has an open window, so it's an open case back. Here you can see the rotor of the movement, and the movement is Seiko caliber 7S36, which was the movement made in 1996 and used in a lot of Seiko divers and Seiko 5 watches. It's obviously an automatic movement with 23 joules and 21,600 vibrations per hour. It also has a Seiko DiaShock system and the power reserve of 42 hours. The complications of this watch include day-date function, and it has a unidirectional rotating bezel, which is obvious since it's a diver. Not sure you can hear it, but the function of the bezel is pretty good, and the clicking sound is pretty satisfying, and it does stop right at where it should, right here. The movement itself, it does not have hacking seconds, and it's not manual winding watch, so it's only automatic, and you can't actually, the seconds when you are trying to set the watch up, you can't stop the seconds, so they always run, so it's very difficult to kind of, if you want to measure it against another watch or put them in the same position. It does have luminous hands and markers. I'm going to show you later how the Lume looks. And it has 100-meter water resistance, as it says here. So when you're looking at this watch, it probably reminds you of some other more famous watches, and you can say that pretty much homage to Blancpain 50 Fathoms, or even more famous Rolex Submariner in full yellow gold with black bezel and the dial. So the question is why I purchased it and why I consider this watch to be my guilty pleasure watch. So talking about the elephant in the room, this watch is gold plated. Obviously it's not 100% 18 karat yellow gold, but it gives you a pretty solid gold look. If you paid attention to this year's Watches and Wonders, gold variations of watches are increasing in popularity. Traditional yellow gold, two-tone, and especially rose gold, which I completely love, but that's a topic for another video. Unlike some other people that really do like to play it on the safe side when they build their watch collection and they wear their watches, I like to experiment with my look and style on occasion, and you do get something fun and different with this watch. I mostly like to wear this watch in the summer when there's a lot of sun, because you can really pull off like a very vibrant and a bit blingy look even with this watch. And look, if somebody's looking at you from afar, they will definitely not recognize that you are wearing Seiko, for sure. It does look a bit more expensive than it is, which is around 300 to 400 euros for this timepiece, and for that money you do get a very interesting watch with some cool complications. If you are in the market for a full yellow gold watch, regardless of the brand you're looking at, it's probably gonna cost you not less than 10 to 15,000 euros, which at this point in time is a bit too much for me. So for the time being, I'm gonna keep this one in my collection as a, let's call it a gold option. And like I said, the most interesting part of this watch is basically if you're wearing it in the sun, it really gives out this vibrant gold reflection and definitely looks more expensive than it is. So guys, tell me what you thought about this watch. Is this something you would wear? Or are you a proponent of, if you're going gold, go full gold, real gold? Or do you think this is something that you can pull off? I usually like to pair it with a simple black t-shirt, because black and gold obviously goes together. You can also experiment with blue, that's also a good combination. But if I were to wear something like more dressy, something more formal, I would probably not go with this watch, because if I had a real gold watch I would, but in this case I do have better watches to wear on a formal occasion. Other than that, I think it's good value for money, and if you're in the market for a great sports gold plated watch, then I would say that this is a pretty good option for less than 500 euros. I did look around the internet before I did this review, and I have to say that no sites at the moment have this watch available, so it could be that it's probably discontinued, and I'm not sure if you can find it on Chrono24 on some sites like that, but I guess you could probably find a used one if somebody is selling it. Pretty decent lume. Seiko is known for having pretty good lume on their watches, so you can see the lume on hour, minute and second hands, and also on markers, which is very small, but you can see it. Not too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.